is now 4 years since Megxit and the palace took the first step to punish Meghan and Harry for their crazy behavior. This is a long game. It seems like the royal family realized Meghan's true nature a long time ago, but they are in no rush to deal with this witch. Let us analyze it in this video, and welcome back to the Royal News 365 channel, my friends. Harry and Meghan are in despair because everything they do has failed. Last year was a nightmare for this couple. No new contracts, endless attempts at rebranding, countless manifestations of film roles, Madam directing, all kinds of lofty plans. She merching whatever she can get her claws on, Harry doing rent or royal gigs, Meghan paying for speaking, and so on. They, too, are trying desperately to cling to the royal family. I thought what they did would be ignored by the firm, yet no. The palace has aggressively edited the website to send the message that Harry and Meghan are no longer related to the royal family. It took a long time to get this first move. I believe there will still be more fluctuations. Royal family has their own style of play. I believe her true face was exposed from the beginning. Anyone who meets Meghan for the first time can recognize a selfish deception coming from this woman. Prince and Princess of Wales met her for the first time. Meghan was there in barefoot and ripped jeans, trying to hug and hang off them. As for Prince Philip, he saw through her right away and advised Harry to rethink his decision to get married. They absolutely knew from the get-go exactly what they were dealing with. The dossier they built on her as soon as she got her hooks into Harry only confirmed it all. However, I think despite their perceptions, they had no idea just how bad she truly was. She put a period on that at the late Queen's funeral with her antics. And the tear from her left eye, the ultra-deep curtsy, the looks of anger shared between the two Sue's lovers when they got in the car to leave, the way the rest of the senior royal women formed a protective barrier between the children and Meghan, the stupid Zorro outfit, and Pringle's hat. Meghan didn't hide her narcissist at all, so Prince Philip easily recognized her red flag. He was a good judge of character. The late Queen probably had some qualms regarding her, yet tried to be supportive of Harry. I'd say the Queen knew for sure exactly what Meghan was when the wedding planning took place, or perhaps just before. Catherine and William were on to her the moment they met her if she was hugging and love-bombing them. I'm sure they were shocked at her plebeian attire as well. Who wears ripped jeans to meet the in-laws? Anne wasn't likely around her much yet. I bet she had Meg's number from her first introduction. As for Eugenie, I still think she's blind to Harry and Meghan and is likely leaking whatever info she can to them. I knew something was fishy during the engagement interview with the show that Meggie put on, and the expressions of all the royal family members during the wedding confirmed them. Meghan's stunt at Wimbledon made her realize she was also totally bad. Before, I just thought she was a bridezilla. I also thought she was trying too hard to be the center of attention. However, I found her to be absolutely disgusting during the Oprah interview. She doesn't lie very well, I think. I don't know how people believed her. With their security department, I trust the royal family knew exactly who she was, how Harry and Meghan met, and what she was all about when they started publicly dating. Trust they knew everything about her before anyone in the family first met her. The royal family couldn't use that dossier to veto the marriage, though. If they said no, the racist flag would be raised. William tried to get him to slow things down, and look how that turned out. The first 6 in the line of succession are required to ask the monarch's permission to marry their chosen person, and Harry was in that top 6. Receiving that permission may be more of a formality than worry about a potential refusal on the monarch's part. I think right from this moment, the long game has started, and the royal family has been in a difficult position from the beginning. If she agrees to let Harry marry Meghan, this woman will cause a lot of trouble. Now it has been proven. However, If the late Queen says no, these two will go whining and whining everywhere that they are being discriminated against. The royal family is discriminatory. The UK has no fairness, and so on. I think everyone in the family was suspicious of her, yet tried to play nice for Harold's sake. The late Queen saying, "I suppose I have to say yes to Harry asking to marry Meghan," seems to me like it wasn't a union that she was glad of. Also, William trying to get Harry to slow down, I'm sure because of the red flags they saw. To think this brotherly concern is what earned William and his family years of abuse at the hands of his brother and the witch he married. Had he just been apathetic about it, I wonder where we'd be now. However, as a future king, he could not just ignore the red flags. I think it says a lot about William as a person. He obviously had been on the receiving end of Harry's rages and jealous rants for decades. He knew the chances of the ginger winger flipping his wig were high, yet he still spoke up to try and save his brother from making a costly mistake. We saw many moments where Meghan seemed to want to seduce William. I think all the photos where she was shooting William the fuck me eyes were her attempt to make it look to the press that there was something between them, and to make Catherine insecure. Luckily, William never looked at her and made good use of his scarf. He knew exactly what she was up to, is my guess. During a Christmas at Sandringham, Meghan looked at William very lovingly. Prince of Wales seemed creeped out, and to avoid eye contact, fixed his scarf even though it was tied correctly. It doesn't stop there. I read that she snuck into the bedroom where George or perhaps Charlotte was sleeping and took unauthorized photographs of the kids when she excused herself from dinner to use her phone to answer calls. This happened in the very early days, allegedly, from social media gossip. However, this seems in line with the character of people who will reveal other people's private information for money or try to sabotage a monarchy. I assume that on that day, the entire royal family made up their minds about her, cut off friendly conversations with her, and the Sussex couple got angered and went into attack mode, planting lies and race baiting. The royal family had all the warning they needed when Meghan capitalized on her relationship with Harry with the Wild About Harry cover story in Vanity Fair in 2017. Can't think of anyone else dating a member of the British royal family who so flagrantly used the relationship as peer. The article was so indiscreet, especially for a family that values discretion. I wonder when it was that this witch first began hinting at racism aspersions with the royal family, because that would have been her way of threatening the royal family. If the royal family opposed her, they could be accused of racism. Once she brought that up, the royal family would likely treat her with kid gloves. She's a manipulative narcissist, yet thankfully the royal family eventually stood up to her. The issues are mentioned in the bullying reports that won't be published. At first, I believe the royal family welcomed and opened their hearts to Meghan. They protected her, yet when they failed to achieve their goals, Meghan manipulated Harry into betraying the very people who once protected them. Everyone recognized Meghan's true nature. However, I think Harry will be the last to realize that Meghan isn't in love with him. She is in love with the idea of being a princess and married to a prince. He is a big-time delulu. He is in love with the idea of her and who she made herself out to be. Even now that he's become a normal person as an ex-prince, he still hasn't regretted his past choices. Nobody could have expected Harry skiing with the Kardashians. It seems that the royal family's move was effective. It still amazes me to this day that no one in the royal family demanded proof that the hag was pregnant. They knew Harry wasn't the brightest bulb in the box, and that the hag had a sordid past, and Harry would be dumb enough to fall for the oldest trick in the book. The Sussex couple has been moved to the bottom of the page, yet the children are still listed in the line of succession. Although there are many controversies surrounding them, the royal family has shown no signs of editing them. At present, It is reported that the children are about to be taken out of the dungeon. Maybe they will appear in Meghan's new brand advertising campaign, or be released on someone's birthday to steal focus. Or Archie and Lily could appear at Kim Kardashian's charity event. Yes, the Kardashians. You didn't hear wrong. The Sussex couple has allied with these people. The Kardashians might not work that hard compared to, say, a nurse or a firefighter or even a wealthy doctor or lawyer, yet they do work. They may have an army of staff to do all the boring bits of their job for them. However, they still have to get out of bed every morning, get dressed, show up to the set on time, put in a couple of hours of filming their ridiculous show, go over the results with directors, producers, editors, sign the paperwork, etc. We all know that would be way too much work for either of the Harkles. Those two want to just dream up some crazy idea, snap their fingers, and then time travel 2 years into the future when they're already spectacularly successful and raking in the cash from that crazy idea. There's no follow-through with them. No concept of idea to work then reap rewards. They want everything now, and if that doesn't happen, they lose interest and move on to the next thing. Rinse, repeat, ad infinitum. Good luck to Meghan. You know Kris Jenner is going to milk them. As Meghan is a grifter herself, will she fall for that con? They did a lot of damage with Oprah. Yet I think that was more Meghan's doing because she wanted to be Diana. At what point will Harry say enough? When does she start peddling the kids? If that isn't his breaking point, I don't know what is. However, by his mannerisms when discussing them, he doesn't appear to have any joy. Being guarded is one thing, and the eyes would tell the story. There's not even a twinkle. Harry is never with those kids. Never. He admitted himself he is an absentee dad. I don't think he ever reads them a bedtime story or plays balls with them. He stays as far away from home as possible. Taking care of kids requires a person to be sober. Harry isn't interested. The Kardashians only care about their blood family, even the boyfriends / husbands / fathers of their children. They use up everyone else and toss them aside. They will use up Meghan in a heartbeat for a storyline, get more ratings, and toss the pair aside like garbage. As for Harry and Meghan, they will claw onto the Kardashians as much as they can. They probably think Kris will do the work to create the contacts and contracts for them, and they just waltz in and take the money. Hope the Kardashians cut them off like the leeches they are. I think the only one of those two that people want is Harry. I don't understand, yet some people still see Harry as a prince of the realm. For some star kissers, getting to meet a real-life prince is exciting. No one, not one single person wants Meghan. Yet to get Harry to your event, you gotta invite Meghan. The Harkles are delusional. They thought that the people loved them and came out to support them, especially Meghan. However, what they didn't know was that the only reason people were fascinated with them was because of their association with the British royal family. Then, after Megxit, they thought that they would be able to keep making money by bashing the British royal family for years. However, in today's world of the internet, people have short attention spans. No one pays you attention if you are not interested. The initial attention was only because people love drama. Yet the constant victimhood got pretty boring very soon. The reason William and Catherine are so popular is that they represent what family love and real public service mean. And they seem authentic. Not like the authentic and organic Queen of Montecito. They don't constantly whine on television without taking any accountability like the Harkles. They thought that they would be able to keep making money by bashing the British royal family for years. And this is the beauty of grey rocking. There has been much criticism and whining about how King Charles is weak, and how there have not been any consequences. Well, the Harkles had their moment of vomiting all of their claims of mistreatment, and inside royal gossip, and telling lies and hyperbole. However, because their targets kept quiet, there has been nothing further for Harry and Meghan to exploit. They emptied out their guts, and nothing has come in to perpetuate their tale of woe. You can't have a feud all by yourself. Even worse for them, their stupid self-indulgence has created irreparable damage. No one likes a loser, and that's what Harry and Meghan are. I've also always been of the impression that the ultimate consequence Harry and Meghan faced was not getting the initially proposed megxit plan. Sugars and the media made people think that they wanted to leave from the get-go. When rereading their rushed statement, they said they wanted to create progressive roles within the institution. This part seems to be easily forgotten by their supporters. They thought they'd get everything they wanted. Instead, the Queen, Charles, William, and their aides said no. It was never going to happen or be possible. This is why Harry and Meghan are so angry and pissed and moaning all the time since then. If they had gotten their way the first time they asked, I can guarantee you we'd have not heard one peep out of them. All of this psychodrama of the last 4 years has been because these two faced the ultimate consequence that they aren't royals anymore and will never be part of or represent that institution ever again. Every single major royal event held since then has only reaffirmed this for them and the public. As Harry always says, it didn't have to be this way yet. I read that as I never thought it would be this way, and now they are paying the consequences for such a rash, self-absorbed, ill-advised act. What I love is that almost everything that has negatively affected the Harkles in the last 4 years has been of their own doing. Their behaviors, their lies, and the only reason we have seen any of those missteps is because they court the publicity. They toss out accusations and claim to be victims. The only notable action the royal family has taken is the very recent change to the Harkles' profile on their official website. The royal family practice of staying quiet and grey-rocking has gone on for 4 years now. While we might want a firmer, more public, more severe response to the inexcusable and traitorous behavior of the Harkles, we have to concede that the royal family has handled things wonderfully by, on the surface, not handling them at all. Many people have pointed out the wise strategic wisdom of not interrupting your enemy while they're making mistakes, and it has proven to be a wise approach indeed. The treatment of Catherine is a notable example. She does absolutely nothing to feed Meghan's desire to engage in battle, and Catherine doing nothing just makes the witch more and more unhinged, to the point of the general public noticing it. The last several weeks have been a prime example. Catherine has been out of the public eye, both physically and virtually, and Meghan's hatred and resulting antics have reached new heights, so high they're visible from outer space and are attracting attention from people who previously didn't give a flip about either Catherine or Meghan. While the recent updates to the royal family website might go unnoticed by almost everyone, we and others following the royal family, including media outlets, see the substantial message implied. Meghan and Harry are not working royals and are barely a footnote. Yes, there are lingering questions about the Archie christening photo and many other things, and we want answers. If the photo is a complete fake where Meghan had one of her photographer friends create the likely collage from scratch, why didn't or hasn't the royal family publicly state the entire photo is a fraud? We have to trust that the royal family knows what it's doing and is picking its battles very carefully. Eventually, most of the truth about the Harkles' lies will come out. The royal family is making strategic moves so that they aren't the ones to out them. They're releasing nuggets here and there so that the public, the media, or the Harkles themselves will be the ones to bring things to light. I'm cool with the royal family handling it with subtlety and in whatever time frame they feel is best for them. They're not buying into the war as Rachel wants it to be, and it must be driving her crazy. The two of them should be happy together, so as not to make others miserable. If Harry ever tries to divorce that witch, she will fight him as dirty as she can. The moron wrote in a book that he is a drug abuser and an absentee dad. He said in an interview that when his wife was suicidal, he didn't try to get her help because he was embarrassed. He has a history of racist words and deeds. He's been handing her grounds to get full custody of the kids. Their divorce would be filthy dirty. They both deserve it, but those poor kids. That brings us to the end of my video. Hope you agree with my point of view. If not, please comment so we can discuss it. Don't forget to like and share the video so YouTube can recommend similar videos. And if you want to receive notifications about the latest videos, please subscribe. We will be back soon. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.